Hi, everyone. Welcome into Primetime TV Show. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is my co-host, Dennis Kelly. We're back again.
Again.
They keep inviting us back. What do you think that, why do you think that is?
Might be sadomasochistic.
I don't believe you said that. Anyway, welcome into
Oh, you
Primetime
asked
TV
for that.
Show. Boy, I'll walk right
You set up
into
for that real good.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us. We have been actually kind of talking on Facebook, or I have, about our show today, which is going to be kind of like the Kellys Unscripted, because normally we do talk about all positive things. But in order to get to that positive things, it's not just about thinking, it's about positive feeling, correct?
Absolutely.
And we had quite a day last week when we really sat and were delving into some of the things that allow us, that really help and assist us get out of our own way from that big, nasty word, worry, right?
You got it.
Negativity, fear, and all the different things when we live in that what-if world, and it taking more of our time spending on the problem, not the solution, and worrying. Do you worry? Do you sit constantly and allow yourself to go into meltdown after meltdown, one problem after another, to the point you actually get into overwhelm? If you're answering yes to that, I want you to listen to what we have to share, a few little tidbits that might help you, that has truly helped us. And after our conversation the other day, I thought, you know what? We talk about stress and the damaging effects of stress and how it can lead to premature death, disease, and all those negative things and everything. But it's what happens on a daily basis that leads up to these stresses that cause the disease and everything. So my husband and I were coming back. Honestly, that's why I say the Kellys Unscripted. I mean, we had an idea of what we were going to kind of talk about based on this chat that we had coming home from teaching our Tai Chi class last week. And I asked my husband, I said, what is it? How are you able to juggle what you juggle and stay in this frame of mind? Now, keep in mind, he is a Grandmaster in Tai Chi, and there is a big, big thing to say about that. I am far from that. Now, I am a master at shopping. I'm a master at...
She has a black belt in shopping.
Makeup and having fun with hair color and just goofy fun things like that. But when it comes to mastering life, I have mastered a few things, and many of you are certainly aware of that I really walk my talk with. But my husband has this extra element, and I got to tell you, I've always admired that of you, but I've never really sat and given you these questions, thrown them at you to find the answers. So I'm going to button it up, and I want you to pick up from where we left off when we were talking about worry. And one of the things that you used to do when you had your own business many years ago that worked, and how much time you spent on worry versus solutions,
Right.
And positivity.
Well, none of this is really new. I mean, you go back centuries and find out philosophies and possibilities of accomplishment in a lot of their philosophy back hundreds of years, thousands of years ago. But really, the key thing is cherry picking the best of what's out there. And that's what I did. I've never had an original idea in my life. It's always somebody else's ideas that I look at and I say, well, this could be improved here and there. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I gained out of reading a lot of books, going to a lot of different seminars by famous people in a higher pay grade than myself, was most people major minor things. They spend so much time putting out fires that aren't necessary, so they don't never get to the point where they focus on their goals and their dreams, and they become nightmares. Like most people at 25 stop learning. They're dead at 35, and they're upright for another 35 or 40 years. You never should ever, and I'm still learning. And being a Grandmaster only means that I've got that much more to learn, because at least you know what to learn. The key thing is knowing what your weaknesses are, and you can put them into three categories: the mind, the body, and the emotions. The mind is the map, the body is the vehicle, and the emotions are the spirit. And it's like keeping your eye on the one in the air, the ball in the air, like if you were juggling. And when your mind is a little bit weak, you feel pressure mentally, from whatever is bothering you, then you want to work on the mind. You want to do some things. And sometimes if you run into a roadblock and you can't absorb any more and you feel you really need to work on your mind, sometimes you really need to just get away from the mind, go polish the car, wash the car, or go to the gym and work out, and then come back and assess the damage, what needs to be done to solve the challenge. The big thing is 90% of what we worry about never happens. And my mother used to say she used to worry about what she worried about next. And that's so typical of that age, the ones that went through the Depression. You know, they were the experts in worrying, but they also were much more frugal and put money away in savings accounts than we do in this modern age today. You know, in fact, a lot of these poor kids coming out of college, they don't have any money to save. You know, and that's so sad. The key, you can pick a career in any library. It doesn't take but 3 to 5 years to be an expert in any subject. I mean, all the information is there, but the key thing is getting back to worrying. In fact, there was quite an interesting sentence in one of Dr. Gill's books, and of course he's wonderful about distributing his books to the public, and in fact he married Barbara and I, Dr. Gill's. He had one line in there that I'll never forget. He said, if you worry, you don't believe in God. And you know, at first you look at that in a sort of a negative way, but then if you really analyze that, there's so much truth to that. Because if you believe in God or a supreme being, a master intelligence, whatever you want to name it, then you don't really worry because you've got all the tools to deal with, to overcome any obstacles, to reach a state of imperturbability.
And that's like a whole different show in itself. We have a God box where we pass the buck, if you know what I mean. And that's not really anything new. It's not our idea. People have been doing that for many, many years in some way, shape, or form. But, you know, when it comes to worry, sometimes people just really get into overwhelm, because there's one drama after another, one story after another.
The key is, where do you spend most of your time in your mind? And what I did that helped me so much, because I've been through a lot of, everybody's had their tragedies, their ups and downs, nobody's free from it. That's how we learn. Actually, it's not bad. It can be good if you learn from it. But what I devised for myself, it may not work for you out there, but it works for me. And I gained, or I should say, acquired this from one of the seminars that I went to. So it's not my original idea. I just follow through with all these good ideas. It's called a worry hour, because we spend most of our day worrying about something that's probably never going to happen. So pick a time that can be by yourself, no interruptions, and have your worry hour. That's when you actually find a solution. Because the key thing, most people spend 90-some% of the time on the problem and only 5 to 10% on the solution. So in your worry hour, then if it's bills that you worry about, look at the bills, try to come up with a solution how you can either cut the corners as your expenses or how you can make more income. But that is during your worry hour. Then after that hour, forget about it. Unless it's an emergency, forget about it. Do not go there until the next day. The funny part of it is, eventually what will happen when you follow that technique, you won't need worry hour anymore, because you don't worry anymore, because it all works out. You then change it probably to a solution hour, where you actually form the plans, the goal settings, because the thing is, when you set a goal, most people are afraid to go and forward with the goal, because they're first of all afraid of failure. And secondly, they don't know really, how am I ever going to get there? What do I have to learn this? Do I have to learn that? What do I learn? What do I do? You know, the ifs, the buts.
And what if this happens? What if that happens? And it diffuses your dream, it diffuses your goals, and it just keeps you sitting on top of this worry mountain. And I'm sure there's a few of you out there in the viewing audience that have probably found yourself there. I will be the first one to raise my hand. I don't worry like I used to ever since I have been with my husband here, also my life coach, because it's not productive. But every once in a while, I'll find myself sort of slipping. And then I get the dad look. And he gives me that dad look, and I don't need to say he doesn't need to say anything. I don't need to say anything. It's just that look like, now, hon, you know better than that. And so I catch myself and get back out of my own way. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like you just keep stepping on your own toes and you get on your own nerves, get in your way? Getting in your own way is one of the worst things to keep you from productivity. At least I have found that. Now, we have a break coming up here, and in the next couple of minutes after the break, we're going to talk about some of the things that we can do in this worry hour and keep it actually contained and condensed. And also, we'll talk about that rubber band technique, because that helps you not go past the 2 minutes. In case you missed our show on reducing stress and things like that, we have a rubber band technique. It works every time. And then we're going to talk about how I truly implemented this way of using the Worry Hour app. I never did that quite that way before, but I'm going to talk about that and so much more. And then in the last segment today, I'm going to be talking about an opportunity to where you can actually watch our show on Big Box TV. We're going to give you a chance to actually turn your TV into a smart TV in our first Shop Talk segment. So we'll be talking about that, so much more, and I can't believe these segments go by so fast. How about you?
Fastest 15, 20 minutes in the world.
I know, exactly.
We're having fun.
We are having fun. Anytime we can share something that's helpful with you, we certainly want to do that. That's our purpose. I know that. In fact, I was reading a verse in the Bible that I brought in today on a bookmark, and it was talking about our purpose for this generation. And this is it for us. So on that note, we're going to take a brief little time out. When we come back, we have more right here on Primetime TV.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
welcome back, everyone, to Primetime TV Show. I'm one of your hosts, Barbara Marville Kelly. With me is my husband, Dennis Kelly. And just before we took our break, we opened the show talking about, we're kind of having a, I would say the Kelly's Unscripted today, talking about some things that you wouldn't normally expect us to talk about, but we're no different than you guys. You think we just live a hunky-dory, bowl of cherries life every single day? Most of the time, but there are those times where, yeah, we might slip into a little, well, me more than my husband. But we were talking about the word worry. I can't think of a more negative word than negative, but we had quite a discussion on that last week, and we were talking about how worry can actually be turned into a positive negative, right?
That's right.
Is that what you call it?
That's right.
So just before the break, we were talking about, you know, how we get into that, and you suggested something that worked many years ago when you had your many businesses, a worry hour, where you would put all your cares, concerns, and difficulties in this 1 hour. And the rest of the time is where we become very creative.
Well, you know, it's what my worry hour ended up being, a sort of a meditation hour, because I'd sit there and think about the solution to the challenge that I had. First of all, I would never use the word problem.
That's
My
right.
employees were not allowed to use the word problem. Everything was a challenge, and that turned the whole thing around, because everybody really that has anything to do with success likes a challenge. I mean, I love challenges. I don't try to create problems so I have challenges. I have challenges so I don't have problems, if
That's
that
right.
makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
But what happens is there's two rules that I live by that tie right into the worry. It's like a red ribbon on a gift box. It's not rule number one. There's two rules, and I live by these religiously. Rule number one, don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number two, the most important rule, everything is small stuff. We're here today, gone tomorrow. Why worry about something that's not in chance? Chances are it's not going to happen. And if you do, and if it does happen, you can make that into a good thing by learning so that you don't have that same situation, same problem or challenge in the future.
Right, because then what happens is constant worry, constant stress is what is derived from the worry, the concern, and things that you just concentrate on, as opposed to the solutions or getting out of your own way and being more creative. And so this worry hour, I really did this for 3 solid days, didn't I?
Yeah, and it showed.
I mean, it did, and I could actually feel that.
She made my coffee for me.
You weren't worried that I wouldn't. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we did that. I did that. He's been doing it for a much longer time, and I just tapped into his secret for this whole worry thing. So before we take our next break, I want to give the rest of the time to you as to, okay, so we have this worry hour, we put the problems and cares and all that in that 1 hour, and that's where the solutions will come. But what do we do with all that other time, all those other hours that in and out of consciousness, in those hours, we're thinking about this bill we've got to pay, or this kid we've got to put through school, or the dog that has to have surgery, or whatever it is. What do we do to be more productive, more positive, and especially how
There's
we
an
feel?
easy answer to that.
Okay.
And it's not easy to do, but it's easy to understand. Well, first of all, everybody has their dreams, the things they would like to accomplish. But then, of course, what happens in life, the problems and difficulties and things that happen, we allow them to take up 99% of our time. And eventually the dreams, they decay. They're no longer, I should say, they're no longer viable because of the fact that you let time go by to the point where you just give up on your dreams. That's because we're focused on many different things. We're not focusing on those dreams. The key, and it was by Mike Dooley and his Infinite Possibilities, a book that he wrote that was the bestseller. He talks about it, and it really makes a lot of sense that what you need to do is what I keep talking about every week about the power of the imagination. Well, add visualization to imagination. In other words, have a goal in mind and visualize it. Spend 5 minutes. Just all it takes is 5 minutes, and visualize it with passion. Don't think about, well, what am I going to have to do to make the goal? Because what you're going to do is see the goal already made. feel what it felt like or feels like to make that goal. Feel the passion of making that goal. Even if you don't at first feel the passion, eventually you will. Because if you, like a preacher told me one time, if you pray long enough, you're going to eventually believe. So that's the same thing here. It's no different. That visualize that goal is already happening and feel the passion of that. All it takes is 5 minutes. In fact, you don't want to spend much more than 5 minutes. Then the rest of the day would be your normal day. Try to stay away from, excuse me, from negative things. And the thing is, all you need is that 5 minutes of visualizing, because thought is a thing. So when you visualize that, then that turns into a thought, becomes a thing, and that becomes a real part or program or product or material in your life. Could be a car, could be a job, could be whatever. Could be a trip to the moon, whatever. But the key thing is focusing for 5 minutes a day on that, then forget about it. And then just try to live a normal life. Every hour just ask, how do I feel? It's not what I'm thinking that counts, it's how I'm feeling. So if I'm not feeling good, I mean mentally and emotionally, if I'm not feeling good, well then I'm thinking something that's hurting my feelings, the way I feel, the way I project. So what you want to do is just trace in your mind, what am I thinking? Then you might go and do a clip of maybe about a minute or two of your visualization of your goal, and then go back to solving the challenge. Whatever is making you feel bad, there is an answer to everything. Don't sweat the small stuff, everything is small stuff. Gratitude, appreciation, those are emotions that are so important.
Well, you know, gratitude and appreciation, we always like to bring that into any of our conversations, any of our workshops, coaching, or anything whatsoever, even normal everyday conversation, because those two virtues are what really does help us get out of our own way. There are so many situations out there and so many people that are much worse off than we are. And that is where the gratitude and the appreciation definitely comes into play.
And it's attitude, too. You know, there's an old saying, every 30 seconds, somebody dies of hardening of the arteries. Every 5 seconds, somebody dies of hardening of the attitude. They just don't bury them 30, 40 years later.
Exactly. So what basically, to sort of recap what you're saying, is you take an hour and just use that for your worry hour, and you do it kind of like the same time every day.
Yeah, don't let anyone or anything, unless it's an emergency, interfere with that worry hour. A lot of people start it, it works, and then they start taking it for granted, and then they don't do it anymore. Well, I could be doing something better with that hour. No, you couldn't be doing something better with that without that hour. That hour can be critical. Then eventually that hour can be a half hour, and eventually 15 minutes. But that's your worry hour. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend a whole hour. That's the time that you start thinking about it. That's when if you want to worry. But what I'm suggesting is don't worry. Just look at these challenges as means of growing. When you solve these challenges, it gives you so much confidence.
And in a shorter amount of time, and you know, it's funny because when I have challenges that I have to think about or whatever, I would much rather put that in 1 hour, get it done and over with, than drip all day long.
It's like acid dripping in the system. It's like fight or flight hormones that are destroying your body, your mind, and your emotions. And it doesn't take long to start aging quicker.
And so I would also much rather spend the hours before and after that so-called worry hour. And hey, if you don't have a worry hour, hey, give me a high five there and some fist bumps. I'm all for you there. But let's face it, is that reality in everyday living? I don't think so for most people. So the rest of the time, what we want to do is we want to focus on our dreams, our passions, things that we want to make a difference in the world, if you're so inclined, or spending time with our family, or doing things that we love to do. And maybe even a career. Maybe you're looking to do a career change. Maybe you're looking to write a book or accomplish something that is going to just give you that satisfaction and maybe even no one else. But in order to do that, in order to accomplish that, we need to see it, feel it, believe in it with passion, because it's the passion that changes all those chemicals and makes everything bubble up and make you excited about life again, right?
Absolutely. In fact, you can drink from one cup, that cup is poison, the other cup is poise. In other words, one cup has got all these negative emotions. What am I going to do about this? How am I going to pay the bills? The key thing is you get, like I say, major and minor things, and there's no time left to really live, to see your goals, to see your dreams. And it's never too late. I mean, it's never too late. I don't care how old you are. there's never a time that it's actually not going to work.
And I'm so glad to hear you say that, because the one thing that we all need today, I don't care who you are, we all need hope. Hope for better tomorrows, hope for a better world, hope for our generations to come. My goodness, you can turn on the news any time of the day or night and you can see all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I mean, even with our own country, which we pray for on a regular basis, in hopes that we have a better world for our generations to come, and pray for our government. Pray that we get the people in there this next election. And I mean, that alone is looking at the crazy politics that are going on and the people out there. I mean, it's like too much stuff all at once.
Yeah, and if you don't vote, you got no right to complain.
Exactly. And so, you know, getting back to that whole taking time for more positive thinking, how to get there, we've given so many different little exercises. The rubber band. Don't go past 2 minutes. You know what? Snap that rubber band. If you're thinking about something that's bothering you or you're angry about something, wear that rubber band for 7 days. And every time you start to go past 2 minutes, you snap that rubber band. And if you do go past the 2 minutes, you need to start all over again and shoot for that 7 days. And you know what? It works. It really does. And we try to share these things that have worked for us. Obviously, we're not going to share things that don't work. But you know what? Before we make a decision on something, we think about it before we try it. 9 times out of 10, it usually does work.
That what you think about, you bring about.
That's right. Absolutely. And so start thinking about abundance and thinking about all the great things that make you happy, whether it's your family or whatever it is. It might even be a material thing. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't dwell on that is the importance, right?
Boy, isn't that the truth.
Exactly. So you're going to take a break. I'm going to be introducing something that I'm very excited about in this next segment, and I will see you at the ranch in just a little bit.
You got
But I
it.
want to thank you for joining us and sharing that whole worry hour. That was really a good exercise because I focused on that this whole weekend, and I really did get a lot accomplished. Yeah.
Well, you'd be surprised how having that worry hour can actually give you more time during the day and during the evening to get things done, because you're not putting out fires. You're not making the same mistake. What is insanity? Is keep doing the same thing over and over and expect change.
That's right.
Right.
The same thing, doing it over and over again. And you know what? It feels better to have accomplishments and think about really positive things and be motivated, be creative. I love being creative. And if I'm not putting out fires or in that worry part of my life dripping on me all day long, I could be so much more creative.
Well, the real key is happiness. Being happy in spite of things, not because of things. Yeah, if you get a big raise for a while, it's great to be happy about it, but that is a temporary thing.
Exactly.
You know, every day you walk in, you're not getting a raise. The key thing is learn to be happy when there's bad things happening, tragedy happening. Being happy that you're here and can relate to it and can learn from it. You can always find something to be happy about. In every dark cloud, there's a silver lining.
And that's a perfect...
Look for the silver lining. Something can be good about anything.
Absolutely.
When I lost my big disco, three stories, 34,000 square. I almost had trouble spitting it out every time I think about what at first was a big loss. But then the funny part, if it wasn't for losing a disco, I would have never met you.
And on that note, we're going on break.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And I'll be back right after this.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B. Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on Primetime TV Show. We air out of Tampa Bay Multimedia Studios, and you can watch our shows on WeBeamTV.com. You can also watch the archive shows there as well. And I know that many of you were watching us on either your iPad or your computer, possibly even your phone, wherever you are, because you are able to do that. But what if I told you we now have the capability of turning your TV into a smart TV? Hundreds and hundreds of channels. Well, it's possible, and it's the latest in what you can do with your television, and it's all through a company that has brought out this brand new item, which I'm very excited about, called the OmniBox. The OmniBox is made available to you as the consumer to be able to hook up, plug and play right into the television that you have right now and turn it into a smart TV. Hundreds and hundreds of channels that you'll be able to view. CNN, ESPN, NBC, ABC, you name it, you can watch it. And you can do that by purchasing the OmniBox. I wanted to bring this out because I have a passion for television, as many of you know, being in the industry for 20 years. Anything that's new and different or something that's exciting that we can pique the interest but make a difference in our viewers' lives, I'm all about that. And I thought, you know, when I heard about this OmniBox, I thought, can I get involved with that? I want to see what that's all about. You mean all we have to do is purchase this box. We have a monthly subscription for $24.95. I own the box, and it's like plug and play, and all I need is basic internet? Really? That's very, very exciting. And imagine, how would you like to be able to watch Netflix on the big box TV? That's right. You can now do that through the OmniBox. But what's really great about it is if you've had a challenge with cable companies or DirecTV, maybe you've been turned down. Well, if you have, guess what? There are no credit checks with the OmniBox. That's right. No credit checks, no contracts, instant approval. Let me say that again. No credit checks, no contracts, instant approval. And if that piques your interest, I invite you to take a look at it a little bit further, because I think that when you can see that you do have options without being tethered to some of the cable companies And then too, by missing out on so much entertainment and so many channels, but not to mention to be able to watch WeBeam TV. Do you know that we have all kinds of shows that we stream through Tampa Bay Multimedia? In fact, my favorite motto is, if you can dream it, we can stream it, right here at Tampa Bay Multimedia. And then taking it to this next level through the Omnibox, to be able to see your favorite shows, your favorite networks, kids shows, and this is really big, international. That's right, international networks that you will have the capability of checking into. So what I want to do is tell you a little bit more about it. I am doing this because I am very passionate about offering TV to you. Right now, you're probably watching our show, like I say, on your computer, on your iPhone, on your iPad, or your smartphone, or what have you. But if you were able to watch this on your TV or save on those monthly cable subscriptions that are becoming more challenging and more stressful, what if you had an option such as the Omnibox? This is the today's generation of the Omnibox, but it's the future of TV right here, right now. So imagine being able to have friends over, pop some popcorn, and you can watch your favorite Netflix movie. And that's just, I mean, so many people are nesting more and staying home, spending more time at home. And the other thing is, down here in Florida, we call some of our residents snowbirds because right about now is they pack up their cable, they pack up everything that they own, and they move back up north temporarily for a few months and everything. Guess what? You can take the Omnibox with you. That's right, take it with you, have it rehooked up at your other place of residence, or if you happen to be going on vacation, you have a vacation spot that you want to use this in. It has so many options. I just think the versatility of it is very affordable, it makes sense, and it gives each and every one of you that opportunity. And if it isn't for you, you might know someone. You know, a lot of us have had a few bad breaks in our life, you know, maybe with unemployment and things of that nature. Credit is it's a little bit dampered, and it takes a while to build that back up. And if you've been turned down from DirecTV and turned down from cable, the one thing that I do know that a mandate was passed where the cable companies must offer you basic internet, and that's all the Omnibox requires is your basic internet. And I have to tell you, thinking about being able to browse the web, you have your international channels, your Google Play Store, hundreds and hundreds of live TV channels, video on demand, connect to your Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, Spotify, YouTube. Turn your TV into a smart TV and much more. I think it's going to be something that you are going to be very tickled that you watch this particular segment of Shop Talk, because it's my latest new thing that I am supporting, and I really love to be able to share things that I think could be making a difference in your lives out there. So think about it. If you have anybody, friends, neighbors, relatives, I want you to get a hold of me. You can do that. You can contact me. And one thing that you can also do is you can go to buyprepaidtv.com. That's www.buyprepaidtv.com. And then my code is home shopping, but of course. So you click onto home shopping, I'll get a little credit for that. And I'm so glad to be able to introduce Omnibox to you. It's just a whole new way of life and really getting the best in prepaid TV. I mean, why not? Think about the prepaid cell phones. Now you can have the future of TV right here, right now. So don't delay. Go to buyprepaidtv.com, and Barbara Marville's code is home shopping. And I hope that it's everything that you dream of in turning your smart TV, your TV, into a smart TV. And that's any TV. Even if you have an old TV, maybe you have one of the older, bigger TVs that is kind of big and bulky and you're not ready to buy a smart TV. Imagine now being able to have all these channels. And you know something else that I forgot to mention is you can actually turn your TV into a computer. That's right. web browsing. You can go and search the internet. I mean, you're going to have a blast with this. So I hope to hear from you, and I hope it's everything that you're hoping for. It's my way of sort of giving back when I hear of something that's the latest and the greatest, and an opportunity for you to be able to watch TV on your TV the way you can watch our shows. The Omnibox is going to help you transform. The future of TV is here right now, so why not? Give it a shot. Go to www.buyprepaidtv.com, and of course, my code is home shopping. Check it out, and then feel free to Facebook me if you like, private message me if you want more information. I'll be happy to talk with you about it or email more information to you. I think it's an exciting way to have television from the future. It's certainly a way to save a few dollars. You know, just in the segment earlier, we were talking about how we get stressed out from, money issues and stressed out from this issue and that issue. And especially when it comes to those high cable bills that are just no longer in the budget. Now you can watch your favorite shows, hundreds and hundreds of channels. Now you can do it. The Netflix, the CNN, ESPN. How many of you are sport enthusiasts? You can watch ESPN. You can watch your ABC, NBC, all of the channels that you would love to see through the Omnibox, saving you a very nice chunk of change. And then maybe that way you could maybe go out and buy a few pizzas and have the gang over and sit and watch your favorite movie or whatever. Watch our shows from WeBeam TV. Now you can see us not just on your computer, but on your bigger TV. I'm so excited about this, and I couldn't wait to introduce it to you. We're going to be talking about this every Monday when we're here, and we're going to save a little section for our shop talk. I'm going to be bringing in some other things that I've discovered. In fact, I discovered something really cool over the weekend. I can't wait to talk to you about it. It's about a simple little thing, and so I'll share that with you next Monday. But I don't want to tell you now. I'm just going to pique your interest, so that'll make you tune in next week. But I want to thank you for joining us on Primetime TV Show. It's where we try to bring you up-to-date information on health, wellness, living a better quality of life, and giving you some of the tidbits that has really helped us. And of course, also, as many of you know, with my background in TV for, good Lord, 20 years, I really wanted to bring this Omnibox opportunity to you. So again, all you have to do is go to www.buyprepaidtv.com, and of course my code is home shopping. Until next time, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Monday, same time, same place. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see what's happening in our hometowns, tune into My Chamber TV that airs every Tuesday and Wednesday at 3:30, from 3:30 to 4:30. And tomorrow we happen to have the Central Pasco Chamber, and then Wednesday we have West Pasco. So until we meet again, have a great evening. Take care and God bless.